It is I, Brandon. We are here for more of the Factorio times. Um, I did a little downtime playing yesterday when I was able to, and so we extended the base, like the northern part up here a little bit, and we created these flying robot frames, which did require us to get um, electric engines, which required us to have lubrication or lubricant. Um, so that's what lubricant came from oil, which is a whole thing. These are roboports. They hold robots and repair packs. So I can say things like, oh, I don't want these two burner mining drills. Put them in the trash, and robots will come and take them. See, and they take them away. Or I could say things like, oh, I actually want uh, I want like 150 of these pipes, and then they're gonna be like, oh, okay, let's go get you 150 of those pipes, right? Yeah. Give them a minute. They don't. It doesn't happen like immediately. There's movement. There we go. There we go. Now I have 150 of those pipes. So the robots in this little logistics network will help. They also keep. So I'll show you what this is. This is like personal logistics going on. I basically have it set up that I need between 100 and 500 of these belts all the time. So if I go below 100, they bring me more. If I go above 500, they take them. I have those kind of settings for several things. Or I have it all at 0. So if any of this iron or copper gets in my inventory, they immediately take it out because I don't want any of that. And it's eventually I'm going to have all this stuff feed back into the networks. But for now, I'm just having it taken out, so that seems to be working. So yeah, so the flying robo port thingies, which then with red and green circuits makes the two types of robots, which we have. And then we have them in here. We currently have 1,336 logistics robots, and we have 213 construction robots. We don't have as many construction robots. I'm actually carrying a lot of them myself. You don't need as many of those yet. We will one day, but the logistics ones you definitely need because they're moving. Eventually, we're going to have them moving around all sorts of stuff on the network. So now I'm following this whole lubricant line back. I learned a few things. They don't let you go forever and ever and ever on pipes anymore in Factorio. Back in the old days, you could just make these pipelines go forever. But apparently now, I don't know, for reasons, there's limits. And I didn't look up like solutions. I came up with my own solution, which is I took everything off of the pipeline, right? So I take all the lubricant and I put it in barrels, and then I go into this machine that takes it out of barrels and puts it into another pipeline. That seems to be a little cheat. So you can see I've got a little barrel producing. There's a whole thing happening here where it's lubricant into barrels, out of barrels, into barrels, out of barrels. Barrels are moving around. It's a whole fun thing. Believe it or not, it's actually this. I've had to do this again. That was the first one or the second one. The first one's way the. No, maybe that was the second one. Actually, that was the first one. The second one was further in. But it's like, it's one of those things. I've never had to do that before, so that was fun, just improvising. But yeah, the lubricant line is now there, and it brings the lubricant all the way down. Yeah, also, you can see we're burning through batteries because of all the robots we were making. The robots just burn through those batteries. So we have used up a lot of our resources. Problem we're running into now, so you could see here, lubricant. Lubricant's full, so we're looking good here. Light oil's full. Oil's full. Petroleum's half full. Where is heavy oil? Oh, heavy oil is what's being used for lubricant. It's getting burned so fast. So light oil is the problem. I have to do something with it. Currently, it's just pulling in these giant things. Nothing's happening. It's not going anywhere. It's not doing anything. Now that these are full, it's actually stopped production completely of all my oil because there's nowhere to put this one product. So I need to find something to do with this. So let's get creative. Let's figure it out now because at this point I have no other. I gotta figure this one out now. So we can turn light oil, we can crack it into petroleum. That's useful. Or we can turn it into solid fuel. Those are really the only two things it looks like I can do. Yeah. I mean, ah, I kind of want to use solid fuel. That sounds a bit. Could you imagine burning this instead of coal? I think we need to do this because I have a feeling we're going to need this more than the petroleum. But you know what? Let's do one of each. Let's do one of these, and let's do one of the other one. Oh, this one needs water. Of course it does. So that's going to be a little more complicated. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. We're going to work this out. So we're going to do a little dun, 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 and then do a little magic. We're going to connect this to here, which is then going to connect to here like that. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I know you have no power. Well, you know, life is that way sometimes. Okay, so now you have power. And let's give you a light just for fun. Okay, cool. Now, this one's easy. It's just going to make this stuff, and then I got to put it somewhere. So for now, just to save me the trouble, let's just do this and put it in a chest. Yeah. We'll just fill that chest up with solid fuel. We'll do something with it later. We'll maybe have another line coming, or we'll replace this coal line with a solid fuel line. I don't know. It'll be useful later. We'll burn it for something. But at least now it's getting this stuff being used, which means that when there's room here, it should then create a whole kick up, like all the oil production. So there we go, kick back on again. Obviously in pretty low amounts, but that's okay. We're going to fix that. So the next one, we need water. That's okay. How are we going to get water? We have water over here. Let's do a little thing where we do this. Yes, this. I mean, it's complicated, but it's going to work. Okay, now that makes petroleum, which we could then put back into the tanks of petroleum that we have way the heck down here. Hang on. I promise you there's a way. We got some trees up in here. Bam. Okay, look at that. That's burning. Okay. So cool. That should start using some of this stuff up, which then should get flow happening here. We probably need more than two, don't we? Well, for the sake of speeding things up, let's at least give a little space. Okay, well that should at least keep things moving. But yeah, we're probably going to need like more of these in order to actually make this like happen better. But look, everything's on now. There we go. Power is also, we're now using a lot more power, so that's a whole thing. We made a ton of steam engines so that we can do something with it. I just never placed them yet, so there's definitely going to be some work there. So yeah, we still have not begun any kind of war with the aliens on this planet. We are thinking that there might be a possibility for a peaceful coexistence. We will see. We have beeline through almost all of the blue science availability. Oh, look, my robots are coming to refill. Nope, they're taking the wood. Yes, of course, because they cut down that tree and I had wood in my inventory. And wood is one of those things where it's like, if I have it, take it. Oh, and they're bringing me replacements for all the things I used. Oh, see, this is what I love about logistics networks. I walk into the network and look, the robots are like, here, have all these things that you need. Here, have all these things. Have them all. I don't even have to think about it. They just bring them to me. That is automation. That is the way things are supposed to work. In the future, everything will work that way. I know it sounds crazy, but like things will. You won't have to order DoorDash. It will just happen. It'll just be brought to you. You'll be like, look, it knew exactly what I wanted. Wouldn't that be nice? Okay, so the yellow chests are storage. The red chests are basically the inventories that the robots draw from. It's kind of like telling them this is this place's thing. The robots themselves have their own chests that they're sitting in. I have a pretty big backlog of robots that we don't have in the network right now, just because I'm going to be extending this network. Right now, let's look at the map. The RoboPort network is really, see, it's just this little section here. I need to extend it, obviously, to like more. It's not even covering the oil areas. That's why anytime I go out to oil, I'm off the grid. We did tap into this coal reserve up here, and we did tap into this copper way over here. And I'll show you this. We are making a lot of copper. That was also the big upgrade. We needed more copper. We just needed more. We could not satisfy the need. So we decided, you know what? Let's get all of this copper and let's do something with it. And we are definitely doing that. So we have lots and lots of copper happening here. We could easily smelt more copper. We have enough here that we could easily do more. But this seems to be enough to satisfy the need when the factory was on. Right now you can see nothing's happening other than the random resources that I'm using from these little upgrade things. There's nothing really happening because we've stopped research, and we aren't doing anything. We aren't building anything. We're not other than those robots, which that was the big thing, is it took a little while. So I also built for future proofing here, because I know it's coming, train tracks, which are now on the main line going north. So I have train tracks there as well, because I believe that's part of one of the next sciences. Also, you may notice there are some solar panels just floating around the base. Just, I just had a handful of them. I'm starting to put them up. We are now making, these are the burners. So this is the steam engine things in the burners for expanding. We could use the robots to completely expand our power production now. And you can see here, there's the lubricant comes off, goes into a barrel, and then goes into this machine where it takes it out of a barrel, puts the empty barrel back on the line, which then gets refilled, and it's an endless cycle, because for some reason it won't allow, I guess it's a pressure issue, right? I don't know, whatever. That was not part of the original game, so that's definitely something that I do not recall, and it changes the dynamic of the game a little bit, because now you do have to kind of use barrels, which is, I guess, fine, right? You put things on barrels, you have the train take or you have a tanker train, right? Because I believe there's trains that are going to hold oil. We are going to get into trains pretty soon, because we're going to burn through these resources within our walls relatively quickly at the rate that we are pushing stuff. So I guess the next steps, well, we have a few, but I'll outline them now that I've caught everybody up here. You can see we've done 4 sciences. We now have access to 2 more. So we have purple science, which easy to make, honestly. Productivity modules, electric furnace, and rail. We could probably create purple science and have it on the line in like 1 episode. It's probably not that hard. Utility science is a whole other story. Yes, we are currently making flying robot frames. That is true. We do not have blue processors yet. The processing units, that is like your what is it, like your semiconductors, your AI chips. Those are your fancy computer chips. We are not making those yet. We have the basic, green chips. That's like your everyday, like, put in your phone chips. We got your red chips. These are like, your rare earth minerals. You got a few of those for your car and other things, right? But the blue chips, like, your super AI smart chips to, like, do smart stuff. We aren't making that yet. That is hard. That actually requires sulfuric acid. Well, look, here's the deal. We have all of it, right? But the problem is that we have to take that sulfuric acid that's way the hell out there on the end of the line, and we have to bring it somehow into production here, or we have to make the blue circuits way the hell out there. Now, I think we're just going to have to bring sulfuric acid into the main line, at least for this northern extension of the main line, right? If that makes sense. So this is maybe just going to have a pipeline going north that will include it, maybe? That's the theory, so we'll see.